Good morning, this is Stuart Davidson, your friendly PQS, just checking in. Now I tell you, it's a lovely blue sky. The sun is so bright this morning, I've got the old shades on, and it's a far cry from the last few days, so I don't know how long it's going to last, but I thought I'd get out for my daily exercise while it's still sunny before it starts raining again. So today, I have a message. The message today is for architects, forward-thinking architects and contractors. Now, in times of crisis, and sometimes these are a catalyst for change, and I think it is for the construction industry. Now, I've been speaking to our clients, developers, vendors, employers around getting their new sites started up, looking at new investments, that kind of thing, and we're kind of thinking about how we move things forward. Now, as you know from our QS practice, we're involved in procuring contractors and construction work for our clients, our developers, and we use all different procurement routes, from traditional to alliance to construction management. Construction management is one that we really like, but sometimes it's a quasi version of that. And sometimes with certain projects, it's we're looking at something in between, because sometimes a traditional procurement route isn't fully adequate for the circumstances that we've got at any particular time. Now, what we're looking to, as a business, we're looking to renew our lists of contractors and also a list of architects that we work with and recommend to our clients. But what we're kind of looking for is something slightly different. Now, we think that under the present circumstances, we do need to do something different, but I think we can make construction a lot better and take this opportunity to drive forward a change in culture and a change in the way that we work together as a team, contractors and subcontractors and suppliers, quantity surveyors, architects and lenders. Now, what I'm looking for, if I talk to contractors first, what I'm looking for is contractors that are interested in working much closer with clients and their PQS team in terms of delivering projects. So what we're looking for contractors to bring their expertise, to bring if you've got a mature supply chain, or you're very good at vetting, doing the due diligence on supply chains, managing supply chains, and you have supply chains that you regularly work with. Well, I wondered if you ever thought of leveraging that supply chain within a project. So what we're looking to do is to formulate a kind of new approach to procurement. It's kind of a cross between an alliance, construction management and traditional contracting. If you're a traditional contractor and you're thinking, well, how can I move things forward? How can I change? How can I get more work? Then this might be something for you to listen to through to the end. So what we're looking for is expertise now, not necessarily net worth or contractors to manage costs and pay supply chains. What we're looking for is your expertise in managing supply chains, managing complex solutions on projects. So what we're looking to do is to formulate a list of contractors that are interested in providing the site management, site setup, prelims, managing and bringing their supply chain. Now, for that, what we're looking to cover your costs on is your overheads and profit, prelims, management fee, and also to leverage a fee and to pay you a fee for bringing your supply chain to the project. A fully vetted, managed supply chain that you've done your due diligence on, and you've done the health and safety checks on, and you've checked that the suppliers are capable of doing the project, doing the job, and have the resources. And in return, we pay you a fee for that, for leveraging the supply chain. But also what we do is we'll pay the suppliers, so the client will pay the suppliers and the supply chain direct. So another advantage you get as a contractor is that you haven't got to worry about robbing Peter to pay Paul. So you don't have to be a major large contractor that's got ample amounts of cash flow or cash reserves, which not many have anyway. But you just bring yourselves to the project with your management skills and your vetted supply chain. And what we do under this approach, we're splitting two streams. So the one stream of procurement, the one stream part is the technical side, the expertise, the contractor's expertise side for building the project and bringing the supply chain. The other stream is the commercial stream, which is going to be managed by the PQS or us on behalf of our clients. And we make the payments throughout the supply chain on the basis of certified work, but it'll be open book. So discounts, etc. from the supply chain will go to the client basically, but you will get a fee for that. But what the advantage is for you is that if you've got pressures on your cash flow as a business during this time, and you have got concerns around that, you no longer have to. That's no longer a concern of yours. All you need to do is what we're buying from you is your expertise, not your ability to manage cash flow and be responsible for the cash flow of the supply chain. So that's something that will be part of that project. So we're splitting off two streams, the commercial stream and the technical stream. So if you're a contractor and you're thinking, okay, I'm interested in this new type of procurement. I'm interested that this new type of procurement might get me more projects, because I'm talking to our clients and their lenders, and really what they're looking for now, because they're very, very concerned about solvency within the industry. They're very concerned about where their cash goes. They're very concerned about their risk exposure coming out of the lockdown, with sites getting back going again. They've got sites that want to start, but there is even more concern out there around lending for development projects, development finance. So what we've been looking at is ways and means that we can make the supply of money and the movement of money and the control of payments much more transparent. So what we're looking at is a third-party management of of the cash flow and the payments in the project. So that is something that as a business we'll be doing. And what that does, it reduces the risk exposure for the lender. The lender's more likely to lend on the project. Also, there is opportunities for supply chain finance as well. And also, you'll be guaranteed your payments on time, as long as the work's done and it's done to a certain level and it's done to the right quality and the progress is moving forward. So it's slightly different, but if you're interested in this, if you're a contractor and you're interested in leveraging your supply chain for a fee and come into a project knowing that you haven't got to worry about a large team to manage subcontractors' accounts, I'd like to hear from you. Get in touch, Stuart Davidson. You can get in touch with me, direct message me on here on Facebook. Get in touch and we'll have a conversation. I'll be happy to have a conversation with any forward-thinking contractor that is interested in leveraging their supply chain. They're interested in this kind of approach to construction management. It is a kind of a construction management, quasi-construction management approach. It's an alliance approach, and what I'm thinking is we need to get in construction. We need to get the best out of. We need to get the best out of the supply chain and contractors as we possibly can, working together rather than pitching one against another, rather than having slow payments. That's one of the big things, and the biggest risk we're going to have is slow payments, demands on cash from other projects that you might have. But what we're looking at doing is keeping the cash in the project, so you can come to the project, get on with the work, everyone gets paid on time, and you get paid quicker. So that is the approach. Not all contractors are going to be up for that, but I think there will be opportunities for contractors to get listed on our projects for our clients on their developments and our own developments as well, for contractors that are happy to come and manage a job, leverage their supply chains for a fee, get paid their overheads, ring-fenced overheads and profit, get paid for their prelims and managing the job, a fee for managing the job, and they also have the advantage that they haven't got to bring the cash into the job as well. So that is one thing that might be attractive to you, particularly as we are going through a cash flow crisis, and that's what the lenders see. There's a cash flow crisis out there. They believe their money is at risk. So we're looking at a new way of approaching it, and hey ho, this might catch on, and if we can work quicker, work faster, make it much more efficient, bringing in the various different expertise, getting involved, getting our sleeves rolled up, mucking in together, I think that's going to be a way forward. The other thing I wanted to ask of main contractors as well is your method statements. What are your methods and thinking around construction using 2 metre distancing and social distancing? I think you should be putting yourself out there if you're a contractor, talking about how you can construct a building with 2 metre distancing and still meet the productivity and output rates. I think that's something that we all need to look at. You know, there is stats out there that some sites are still, a lot of sites actually are still going. I'd like to hear from you how you're progressing on your 2 metre distancing and the new guidelines. But what we've got to do is we've got to get the outputs just as high, or if not higher than we had them before, with the 2 metre distancing. And if that's you as a contractor, if you've got projects that you're on and you're achieving that already, I'd like to hear from you. And I think that's a way that you can market yourself and pre-qualify yourself, in fact, is to promote your methodology and how you can work quicker using 2 metre distancing. I think it's the way forward. I think, we're saying, this is the new guidelines for during the lockdown or during the corona crisis. Having said that, though, what you'll be wanting to do, and I think what our lenders and our clients will be wanting to do, is to future-proof the way we work in construction. Because what would happen if the lockdown went on longer? What would happen if the coronavirus went on longer? Or what would happen if coronavirus was cleared up and another one came along? In a year's time we had another issue with another virus, and we all go on lockdown again. What we want to be able to do is to work through the 2 metre distancing as if nothing's happened. We want to be working much faster and much harder, even with 2 metre distancing, so we can carry on without it affecting us economically so much as this time. I think we've learnt a lot this time. I think people are doing absolute marvels really to carry on, but I think we now start to think about, well, okay, how can we make it more efficient? And also, so that's the contractor side. So if you're a contractor and you're interested in leveraging your supply chain for the support of having payment, not having to worry about the payments and the cash flow, and that'll all be managed on the project. That's something that we'll do on behalf of our clients. If you're interested in leveraging your supply chain, you're interested in working on a project and bringing your expertise on managing the supply chain, health and safety, so you get paid a fee, a ring-fenced overheads and profit, ring-fenced management fee, a fee for bringing your supply chain, and also it would be an advantage to you if you are able to show that you can logistically work out the logistics on a project, that we can observe the new guidelines, the 2 metre distancing, and still get the same productivity and output on the construction project. So that's contractors. So the other group I wanted to talk to is architects. Now, if you're an architect, can you design a building that can be built in such a way that you keep 2 metre distancing for the installation? So you're creating components that can be installed with a combination of access equipment, maybe a crane or a lift, with one person, or whether two people can actually install various components on a project whilst keeping 2 metre distance. One thing comes to mind is windows, for example. You know, certain size windows needs 2 people to lift them in. Or can we do that with a combination of a person and a lift, or some kind of access equipment by which you could keep your distance in? Or are there certain tools or ways that we can do it? You know, different ways of working. I think if you're a CDM or you're a principal designer, this will be really of interest to you. But what we want to offer our clients are designs that can be built on site, designs of buildings that can be built on site, or even refurbs that can be done, whereby the design, the social distancing, the 2 metre distancing is inherent in the design. So we've had inquiries, we're getting quite a few inquiries from developers that want to get cracking on projects. And so what we've done is we were linking up the lender with the developer, with the supply chain, with the designer, with the architect, to come up with a ready-made tender list, or a ready-made, it may even be on negotiation, but a ready-made list of contractors, a ready-made list of architects that can first and foremost design in 2 metre distancing on the design, and also contractors that are able to progress works whilst observing 2 metre distancing. So that's the logistics of the site, the way, the canteen, the welfare facilities, the components, the packaging up of the project, the different trades that we use. So what are the key things for different trades? The key issue on different trades which might cause people to come within 2 metres of each other, and can we design those trades and packages in such a way that they don't need the 2 metre distancing? So really, I suppose this live is a bit of a plea, really, or not say a plea, but a request for contractors and architects to contact me with their ideas around the progressing projects with that we can observe the social distancing, 2 metre distancing, but still get the productivity and the output. They're happy to look at a different new way of procurement, which doesn't look to pass risk on, but it looks to share risk and place risk with the parties and collectively with parties where it's much more manageable. So certainly the commercial financial risk, which is going to be a major issue over the next couple of months. We know that through speaking to contractors and suppliers and subcontractors. They're under a lot of cash flow, commercial pressure. So that's why we're looking to renew our supply chain lists, our list of contractors for various regions. So if you're particularly in Kent, London and the Midlands, I'd like to hear from you. Send me a private message, and then we can move forward, because what we want is a ready-made list and architects that are ready to prepare designs, get cracking on the construction. So we'll need to move fast. So speed is the issue. You'll hear me talk about speed of construction, speed of money flow. Money loves speed. And also one of my favourite sayings is the faster cash flows, the more wealth grows. So we need to get cash flowing in construction. We need to move quickly for our clients when they're ready to go. But we need the team that are prepared to look at doing things differently. So this is Stuart Davidson, your friendly PQS. I hope you found some of what I said there interesting. But yes, I'd be really interested to hear from you. Drop me a private message. Happy to have a short call and move forward. Yeah. So this is Stuart Davidson, friendly QS. See you in the next video. Cheers.